gamers, and welcome to episode 446 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for February 24th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Not much, man. We are still in winter, man. We're struggling to get to this freaking spring.
60s are coming, Dominic. They're coming.
Yeah, but we're getting there. I mean, at least it hasn't been snowing, you know. Like we had scares, man, but it melted away quickly for us. So we've been lucky. We've been lucky in this area. Other people haven't been so lucky. Yeah. I sort of feel for them a little bit, even though the only time I think about it is when I just talk on this podcast. So after that, I don't only think about them. But anyway, let's get right into it. So. What news I got here? I know football news is all year, but I don't have nothing really much to say. I know I heard something about some salary cap shit, and that I do not give a damn. I just want to see what players I got, and then when the season starts. Yeah. So I'm pretty much done with football. Until the what is it called? The UFL? Is that what it's called? Now the XFL and USFL together. They'll happen in April, I want to say. Or either late March or April. I want to say April, but so I guess that's the football I'm really waiting for.
Yeah.
Baseball is coming up. Spring training has started already. Orioles' first game is today. I want to say at 1:00, and I don't think I'll be able to see it because they usually only air but so many during spring training games. Yeah. I don't know why. Like you have a whole fucking station of baseball, and then you just can't just show all your goddamn games up there. But whatever. What else? Basketball. They had the All-Star weekend. The big news on the All-Star game. They finally went over 200 points, Daniel.
Oh.
A team has finally gone over 200 points. And we've been saying it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And some people are saying this is the worst All-Star game ever because. Nobody was trying anything. There was literally no defense. That's one reason it was 200. Now, people say, man, there's always no defense. But this, from what the clips I've seen, it's like people weren't even, they were just on court.
Yeah.
And they were just, it's a shoot-around.
Right.
You was watching a 2-hour shoot-around. Probably a little more 2 hours. A shoot-around of people just chucking a ball. Like one time somebody just threw it way beyond half court just to throw it up. And it's like, it's just professional. If you're just going to do that, you have to make it. I'm sorry. Because if you're just throwing up and just miss, it's like, you are wasting our fucking time, man. It's like, you're doing nothing. Like you're like, what the fuck was that? Like, this. And as people talk about the past, how it was All-Star games, players were playing. They found some competitiveness in playing against what is so-called best. You know, like if you're gonna play a game, you might as well play a game. Of course, they're not playing as hard as a regular game with your own teammates. But you are if you're somebody has the ball, you're guarding them. You know what I mean? you at least attempt to play defense. So that's why it's not impressive when I see people this guy scored 50. I think it was couple people that scored 50 in that game, and I didn't watch the game at all, but I just looked. But then I think the guy who won MVP scored 30, but I guess he had some other stats that were good. I don't know why. I was thinking why they got in 50, score 50 and then get the MVP, but whatever. It's not impressive scoring that much because it's nobody's playing defense. What the fuck? Yeah, that's nothing. And then he's 200 fucking points in a game. That actually, you would expect somebody to get 50. It's 200 points in a game. So it's and the stars and the big stars they didn't even play that much. LeBron only played either 13 minutes or so, or Durant and them. A lot of stars didn't even play a lot of minutes. So as a fan, like you say, you went out and voted for these people and they don't even play. And I get it. LeBron's older, and I get he won't play that long. But but some of the other stars aren't that old.
Yeah.
Giannis and Jokic. I think Jokic only played a little bit of minutes too. I'm they're not that old. They should be on the floor playing. And like, and I don't know. Maybe Giannis did play. I don't want to put him down. I'm just saying, like, stars like that. But I know Jokic didn't play that many minutes. But yeah, it's kind of a joke. And I know some people were saying they should put the rules like in baseball and make it whoever wins get home court advantage in the playoffs. And I was like, well, Giannis told me a couple things. Like, you told me you just told me you don't watch baseball anymore because they haven't done that in like 6 years. And like that rule's been out. And so, and people were complaining about that rule. They didn't like it. That's why they took it out. Because the All-Star game shouldn't be something that has something to do with the regular season. And it shouldn't. Like, just be competitive. That's all I'm saying. Or if the players don't want to play, it seems like, partly I don't blame the players because as much as people keep saying, oh, it doesn't mean nothing, I think the players probably just said, like, well, they don't care. Why the fuck do I care? But then again, there are people who care because I obviously came to watch the game. There's always some people who are watching and people who actually voted for you. And so you're still getting paid for this. And I guess they could put a more incentive and say, like, hey, the winner gets a bonus. I guess they can put that in there. Maybe that'll make people play harder or make it fun. But I don't know what you do, honestly, because I think basketball is pretty much on its downturn anyway. Like the team I like is just fucking horrible. Like they just got blown the hell out these last 2 games. I think they got another tough team they're playing. I mean, unfortunately, they're playing these playoff teams, and they are just looking at my team like a joke. And they're playing them like 1-2. Like I just love the first quarter. First quarter is the best quarter for me because it's like, oh, we're not down by a lot, or it's like you look like you have a chance. But once it start going, the game goes longer. That's when that chance is just gone with the wind or whatever, man. Yeah, so like it's not really fun for me to watch like this stuff. Like I don't care about watching these other teams or playing or anything like that. Yeah, I'm just not into it like that. Yeah. But yeah, people were just talking about how that's like one of the worst things ever for the NBA. What they can do to fix it, and I don't know what you can do. I don't know if there is. Like I like football, even though they gone up in the Super Bowl did. I don't know about overall. I think overall, they're as far as viewership, I think it's fine. Like footballs, they've gone down and gone up, but they're still the most watched thing on television is American football. Basketball, I don't think it's not going to be a turnaround. And just like baseball, like you just gotta find your niche and kind of just cater to that. Like if you expect anything to be like big turnaround, like as far as viewership, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that you are where you at or worse. Yeah. That's what I feel like. I feel like if anything, it's gonna be worse, not really better. All right. You got any wrestling news?
Yeah, so Elimination Chamber actually already happened. It happened this morning because it was in Perth, Australia. There were only 4 matches on there, 2 of them being the Elimination Chamber matches. Becky Lynch won the women's, so she'll be facing Rhea Ripley, who won the main event against Nia Jax. And then for the men's, Drew McIntyre won that, so he'll be facing Seth Rollins. The tag team match, the Judgment Day retained there. But they did a segment with Cody and Seth, just kind of one of their like talk show segments with one of the other wrestlers, a guy from Australia. And the other day they released a video of The Rock like backstage saying like, oh, I'm not going to be in Australia, but if I hear Seth and Cody talking trash, let me know and I'll be right there. So like it was like him saying he's not going to be there, kind of making sure that, you set expectations, but then they also kind of made it so like, oh, he might be kind of teasing that he might be there. As it turns out, he wasn't there. So it ended up being kind of a nothing thing, except for Cody basically challenging him to a match. So it seems like they are going to find some way to do likely this Cody and Seth versus Roman and Rock match at some point. I don't quite know where that fits in the schedule. I don't recall if they have another pay-per-view between now and WrestleMania. I don't think they do. And I mean, it would be interesting if they did that as like a night one thing, and then Roman and Seth and Cody and all have matches again on night two. That just seems unlikely to me. So, I mean, especially with Roman, maybe they could do, if The Rock is able to go, a Rock versus Cody thing on night one, and then the winner of that goes on to face Roman, since the idea is still that The Rock wants that match against Roman. I don't know. You know, I was pretty convinced when The Rock originally started teasing being back a little more that, you know, he might have a match at this Australia show. It didn't end up feeling as big, and maybe that's just because it came on at 5 o'clock in the morning here. But like, even Rhea Ripley is from Australia. Like, I was expecting them to do some kind of like big spectacle thing for her, especially since they had her in the main event. And really, there wasn't much of anything outside of just fireworks, which they were doing for everybody, and they always do for these stadium shows. So I don't know. That was kind of weird, but it was overall a decent enough show. But yeah, and next week is AEW's Revolution. That's going to be Sting's final match, so that should be entertaining. Probably not going to end up being able to watch it, though, so it is what it is. So that's wrestling right now.
All right, so I guess we get into what we're watching. I haven't watched anything, so you haven't watched anything, so we'll skip that. Yep. So we'll go right into what we've been playing. So I've been playing some Gotham Knights with my friend, just a little, just to try it. I wanted to see how it is with playing with a buddy or whatever, and the co-op, how it is. I mean, it's a beat 'em up. I don't know. It gets pretty old fast. To be honest with you, like I wouldn't say I necessarily had fun with it. The only fun thing I had was that I was some of the cheats I had when I used to use with a single player. Yeah. It did work with them, and since it's not P versus P, I don't care, you know, about using cheats or whatever. It didn't hurt the experience or anything, and I don't think he even noticed, honestly. I mean, it wasn't because I didn't have God mode. I still died because I was just playing around what worked, because not everything will work with you playing online with people. And see, like, quick level up did work because I was very low leveled compared to him, so that helped. And infinite items, so it did help when I did get hit, and my health would go down pretty fast that I can just heal myself. So that worked out well. But yeah, I couldn't imagine me like keep playing this in co-op. Like, there's a jump in, like, yeah, I want to play some Gotham Knights in co-op and just beat up some guys. I like this. It's not the same as like a shooter, a co-op shooter or something. I like this will be very short lived. It will be a very short lived co-op game. Like I said, I think it was okay as like a single player as far as story and everything. Yeah. It's just overall like it's a very average game, like overall to me, average to close to below average. It's not great or anything, and the co-opness doesn't really help for me. It doesn't really. I wouldn't say it helps. So, because I was saying, like, thinking like, hey, maybe the co-op would make it more like probably up the like review score or something. Maybe something there. It really wasn't. I know every now and then we did do like a combo. I don't know. I must have. You had to probably press a certain button, and I would just press a button so something happened. And I mean, that was cool, but nah, yeah, it's not there. So, cause I know he always kept saying that, like, oh, he wished Awkward Nights was co-op. Where I always said, like, I don't know if I wanted to be. Yeah. I said I can't imagine it. I don't know if that would make it more fun. Like I never thought of a game, like, if I'm having fun with the game, I never think, like, oh, man, I wanted to be co-op. Usually when I don't have fun with the game, I think, like, maybe co-op would make this better. Like that's what I think. Like the Arkham games, I never thought of it like I just couldn't imagine them being a co-op to them, like and working. Like maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe somebody does it and make it work, then that's fine. This didn't help. I can tell you this: Gotham Knights sure didn't help with that argument. What else have I played? I played some Dead Island 2. It shadow dropped on Game Pass, so eventually I want to play with my friend in this game. So I just played like the early stages until you can get to a point where you can play with people, so I can get that out the way. So I mean, I already talked about this game before, so I just played parts I already played, and yeah, so I'm playing. It's on Xbox One because I don't have Series X, so I actually played on the Xbox One. Of course, the graphics are muddier and it doesn't run as well, but I probably end up playing probably through the cloud when I play with him. Mm-hmm. He has a Xbox Series X. Because I was saying like a load time was a little long. I was like, oh, I know it's probably a whole lot faster if I had an Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
What else did I play? I played Bloodstain is on Xbox Game Pass again. Bloodstain, what's the subtitle? Is it Ritual of the Night?
Yeah.
Or something. It's something along those lines. So it's a Castlevania game.
Night, you're right.
Well, I think isn't it made by some people who did Castlevania or the guys something like that?
Yes, former Castlevania series producer Koji Igarashi.
So it's definitely like the inspiration is definitely from there, and so it's a Castlevania game. I talked about this game before. It's back on Game Pass now. It has achievements, so it's got the whole shebang now, and I've been playing through that a bit. I've recorded some. I've been playing with cheats, of course, just like last time. This time I say I'm going to finish the game eventually. But I've been going through that, and it's a lot there to the game. Like, it's a lot of moves and a lot of customization with your character as far as even special, like what moves you can do, what specials you can do. I guess you can find a combination you want with that. I mean, I haven't played Castlevania in so long. I just don't remember being the ones I played on Game Boy Advance being that in depth. Like, and how many different weapons I have and how many different powers I can use. And I'm very early on. So I'm like, darn, I don't think I've only faced the really first boss, but I haven't faced like a second boss yet. So, well, actually, you know what? I guess he might be considered a boss. He's an anti-hero guy who's going after, excuse me, the big bad. I was going to say Dracula, but it's not Dracula. The big bad in this, like, you had to fight him. But other than that, I'm sorry, I'm sick, so I got a little cold going on here. Like I said, just like last time, I really like this game.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I love the moves. I love the look. I love the music. Like, it's been a really good job. I mean, it did get like people really loved it when it came out. High scores. They liked it better than its counterpart, which was not counter. It was its sister game.
The 8-bit one, Curse of the Moon.
The Pixel. Yeah. Because that one I think it got like 7s, I think, and like this one was like high.
Yeah.
And I never played that one. But like, that was my turnoff, was because the looks. I was like, come on, man, it was too many 8-bit games like this. So, and also I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm finally finished. Like, I guess it's Act 2, even though I don't remember ever seeing the acts. So like, 'cause I always got confused. I keep thinking I'm on Act 1. Because I'm like, I don't remember seeing it, but when I saw like a walkthrough, it said something to Act 2. I said, oh. So I guess I'm in Act 3? I don't know. But anyway, I'm at the part where I'm in Baldur's Gate now. Like, I'm finally in the city. Like, now that I'm a different party member than before, and also I'm having different party members who I'm actually interacting with, out in the world. Like, I'm seeing all these storylines that weren't there for my first playthrough, and now I'm saying, I mean, it's so many choices and so many, yeah, like things I can do that really change the world, like what will happen, and things that will really cause some things that might cause a rift between my companions or not, or what I choose. It's a lot going on here, and I'm doing a side mission, like some type of investigation and over some murder that's kind of coincide with another side mission where this clown, he was doppelgangered by these doppelganger monsters, whatever they call it. And then now I'm trying to find a real clown. I think he's dead though, because I found his torso, but which is kind of culminates with the murder of a priest that got killed. It seemed like it's probably the same people, or whatever. But like going through that is pretty cool. Also, like I'm at the reveal point of like the true nature of the person that's been helping you, and yeah, it's a lot there to this game, man. And like I'm just really sucked into the world of it. So like yeah, I kind of want to just go through this game and just finish it. So yeah, that's it for me. So what have you been playing?
I've just this week played a little bit of the new game that released, Penny's Big Breakaway. This is the one that is made by some of the developers that worked on the Sonic Mania. It's a 3D platformer, kind of in the vein of, I'd say like a Super Mario 64, but you don't have camera control. So that's the first kind of like turn off for this game. Overall, it feels really good. It looks fine. It's definitely a callback to those older style games, a lot of bigger, blockier characters. But you're this character that has a yo-yo, and you're using that as traversal. You can either ride on it or use it to swing, almost like a double jump situation. And all that stuff feels really good for the most part. But it's really just, there's not really combat. You're getting, you essentially get ambushed by these little penguin guards. And if too many of them get on you, then you lose a health point. But for the most part, you can just knock them off with your yo-yo. Yeah, I'm still super early on, so I don't have too much to say in the way of like impressions of levels. But from what I've played so far, I'm not entirely blown away by it. I would have liked to have seen this game as like a Game Pass thing, or maybe even like a $20 thing. It's $30 regular price. But that could change, depending on the length of it and how it evolves past what I'm seeing right now. But so far, it seems all right.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, I think I might want to try that out. All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And then we're flashback into 2014, and we only got gas enough for just to go back 10 years, because not much really came out 20 or 30 years ago. So we're lucky, though. So you're lucky we only have this much gas for the time machine. Mm-hmm. So we're back here, and it's only about like 3 prominent games that came out within these weeks. I'm just finishing off February. So 10 years ago, we got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze came out on Wii U. Yeah. This was a sequel to the Donkey Kong Country
Returns, I think.
Returns that was on Wii, and like this was some big deal. But this time, it's cold, man. It's like Tropical Freeze, like an oxymoron. Tropical Freeze, like what the hell? So yeah, it was. I mean, I played some of it. Yeah, I know awesome. You beat it on the Switch. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I played of it. But you can go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, they basically took what they did with Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is, take those old Donkey Kong games, bring Donkey Kong Country games, turn them into 3D, but on a 2D plane, and pretty much rock it out there, because they're very true to those old games. They're very challenging in a way that, even the Mario games are not necessarily nowadays. And I think they did a really good job with that. And with Tropical Freeze, they expanded on that. Like you said, they did add stuff like it being cold. And of course, in the Switch version, they added like Funky Kong mode to make it easier for stuff. But Yeah, this Rare's take on the Donkey Kong Country series, or Retro Studios, rather. Sorry.
What did I say?
Yeah,
Rare's
the original.
part of Microsoft.
Yeah, Retro Studios' take on that, is really awesome. And at one point, it sounded like they were working on a new Donkey Kong game. I hope we can actually see that, since they had to take back over work on Metroid Prime.
Is that going to be a sequel to Donkey Kong 64?
The rumors were that it was going to be a 3D, actual 3D movement. So in essence, yeah. Or maybe it was just a remaster of that.
Seth Rogen doing the voice for Donkey Kong.
It would be very interesting if they started taking some of these voice actors from the movie and bringing them into the game. Mr. Miyamoto's friend Chris Pratt could do a fantastic Mario for us.
All right, so now we got Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 came out 10 years ago. This was the sequel to the, I thought was pretty good, Castlevania Lords of Shadow. And that was a Hideo Kojima produced game.
The God of War-ification of Castlevania.
You said the God of War.
The God of War-ification, yeah.
I wouldn't say God of War.
Everybody was comparing it to God of War back then.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were thinking like Hideo Kojima game, and I was like, he didn't do God of War.
No. The David Jaffeing of this game.
But anyway, yeah. So I didn't play this one because I didn't hear really good reviews of it, honestly, and then I was still going to play it, but it just came out at a time where I just was focused on other things. And so, yeah, I didn't really take the time. Yeah, because the PC one got 58 on Metacritic. Like, it was 70 and 63s. Like, these were low scores compared to the first game.
Yeah.
And I just, it just was a turn off. So I was like, I'm not going to play this. It's like, darn, the quality seemed to went down. I wonder what was it that the reason they did this? Play said, okay, so Play liked it. Yeah, they give it 81%. Let's not talk about them. All right, let's look at somebody who actually. Okay. Oh, GameSpot felt delays your effectiveness in battle somewhat, but opened the game up to different types of combat strategies. The bosses in the game drew particular attention for multiple reviews. GameSpot described these grotesque monstrosities as bringing to mind some of the best designs from film director Guillermo del Toro's work. Your gamer highlighted the fight against the toy maker. Okay, that's a spoil shit here. All right, actually, the game's visuals were mixed. Critics generally praised the medieval castle setting, but were let down by the modern-day city environments. Joystick described the environments as of almost equal spectacle to the bosses, the castle, home to breathtaking viewings, but something the city could not live up to. So yeah, that's disappointing then. The Edge review was highly critical. Yes, they are. They are a high class magazine. They gave it a 4 out of 10. Highlighting the failings of the stealth sections, the unimaginative. Why are the stealth sections?
Because that's what people were doing back in those days, Dominic.
Yeah, like when they try to be like, oh, that's what I'm saying. It was Hideo Kojima didn't produce this one, right?
I don't.
So they should just so. No, he wasn't. It was some guy named Dave Cox, his producer, and some guy named Alvarez, director. So no, there should not have been no stealth in this game. This ain't no get that shit out of here.
From Papa
like if Hideo Kojima didn't do that in the first game, then it should not have been in this one.
You know what they were really missing, Dominic? Patrick Stewart. That's what they were missing.
And a poor pacing. Even the callback mechanics. Patrick Stewart, did it get somebody to speak for that character? Because he was still alive.
You kill him immediately.
Even the callback
Well, didn't this game, because at the end of the first game, you realize that you're Dracula, right? That's what happens.
Yeah.
And then
it was a future.
This one flashed forward to modern day or something, didn't it?
Well, the end of the
end of that.
The hidden scene. The hidden scene, not the hidden scene, but the end credit scene.
That's what it was.
You was in the future, and Patrick Stewart character was still alive.
Oh, okay.
Because he came to you, And you was like, I'm Dracul.
All right.
And you couldn't say la. You couldn't say la for some reason. You say Dracul.
Dracula is the copyrighted thing from Universal Studios. You gotta be Dracula.
But yeah, they said, oh look, the one of the producers or directors, Enrique Alvarez, the game's director, complained that Ed's review was terribly unfair and that one must be blind or stupid to give a 4 out of 10 mark to a game with this quality.
Damn.
Alvarez believed the game's poor critical response compared to the original Lord of Shadows was due to the heightened expectations of a sequel. Still, on the whole, Alvarez said the reception, I tend to think positive after reading some things. I'm glad that some people are writing about games instead of making them. Okay. Even the combat mechanics described by Edge as the game's sole saving grace were judged to fall short of inspirations such as God of War series. Okay, in Russia, the game received mixed reviews. And what did it say? The some guy named Alexia Markarnov, probably pronounced his name wrong, I'm sorry, of Igromania magazine said that he considered the game a clone of God of War. And then another guy, Tony, I'm not going to butcher your last name, so I'm not going to lie to saying it, wrote in Darker, that's I guess it's a magazine over there, that Lords of Shadow 2 was one of the best Dark games of the year, though. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Fancy.
He was paid off.
Yep.
Enrique Alvarez paid him off, so Alvarez stated in an interview in Eurogamer that the game sold well, but not as well as the first game. You didn't have Hideo Kojima in part of it, that's why.
I mean, it definitely didn't help, I'm sure. Especially on those review scores. You put Kojima's name on that, it instantly go up.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley's giving it a 10.
All right, so what else we got here? The last game we got that came out 10 years ago, Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare, came out 10 years ago for the Xbox One, Xbox 360. This was when Xbox had like a, what's it called? A time exclusive with the
window
series,
limited.
just like they did with, well, no, Titanfall, actually, no, that wasn't a time exclusive. Well, a time exclusive to just Xbox One.
Yeah.
But it came on 360 and PC. But, anyway, yeah. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare was the first of the Garden Warfare series, and the first time that Plants vs. Zombies went into actually a combat game. So, like actual third-person combat game, player versus player game. And, yeah, because they didn't add player versus environment stuff until later. That actually came as... I think it was free DLC, because I don't believe I paid for it. I think it was a free update that it came with. Oh, basically like a horde mode or something. But yeah, this was a combat game. I picked it up and I remember I think it was a demo or beta that I played and I really liked it. So I ended up picking up the game for Xbox 360 because I have an Xbox One at the time. And I really enjoyed it. Like, it was fun. I love like how each plant had different abilities and how each zombie did. They had a counter, for each one, so nobody felt like they were overpowered. Well, initially there was people overpowered in the beginning, but with they nerfed some things down and stuff like that as the game went on. Especially what I remember is mostly 2. I remember like the Red Flower being really, man, she was definitely OP'd. I loved using her. I was so bad when I nerfed her. When I nerfed her, I was so pissed off. But it had to be done. But in one, I remember you had the pea shooter. You had the sunflower, of course, the healer. You had the cactus. I know he did needle shots, or she did. And then you had of course, the plant monster, Phoebe Seymour monster kind of thing, and you go out there and eat zombies. Then you had the zombies. You had like the soldier zombie. You had the doctor zombie, which was like the healer and everything. And then you had the doctor/scientist zombie. Then you had the engineer zombie who looked like a construction worker, and Then you have, I'm trying to think, what's the other zombie? Oh, the sports zombie.
The football guy.
Yeah, the big football guy. Like, that was a kind of brute guy. And yeah, man, it was cool. Like, it was like funny how they use their powers and things of that nature and stuff, and crazy. And it's very kid friendly, very kid friendly. I enjoyed playing with the kids in there. Occasionally, you have some asshole come up and start being serious, like it's Call of Duty and shit. I was like, you're in the wrong space. Like, you're in the wrong space for that kind of stuff. Because a lot of times it felt like I was playing against like preschoolers in there, because I hear them talking and stuff. But they help you up, man.
Yeah,
they did help you. So I like to say, oh, these are, like I say, they didn't get to Call of Duty yet, where they become assholes and just call you racist names. but yeah, I enjoyed the game. My friend played it a bit too. He had it. We were playing that a bit, and of course it became free to play. Well, I would say free to play. It became like free on like on demand game. Like and yeah, I think all the games are free now. Yeah. Basically, if you got like PS Plus or Xbox Game Pass or whatever, or you have just Xbox Live, it probably, like, I think they probably became like games you can just download for free. Yeah, like all three of them. So, but yeah, this is when it started all, and I'm surprised it became a hit that it did. Like, I mean, I did like it, but I was wondering, like, hey, let's be someone's legs to stand on. I was happy that 2 came out. That's probably was the best one. Just the load times were just really bad with that one. Yeah. But other than that, I think that's probably one of the best ones. Even though I think their third one is all right, but I was kind of out of it by then, of the series. All right, you got anything you want to say about it?
No, I didn't spend nearly as much time with you or with it as you did. I thought it was a really cool concept, and I was surprised at how well it worked for what wasn't quite a Call of Duty. You know, it was more squad based type thing, but it really did kind of. When we first saw it announced, we were like, "Oh, this is going to be just dumb. Why are they even trying to make a kiddie Call of Duty for it to turn out the way it did? And, you know, have several sequels after that, more so than the actual mainline game was quite surprising."
Yeah, exactly. The mainline game is still what, on 2?
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, I guess because they probably just making so much money, because that's free to play.
Yeah.
And phone game. Yeah, they just ruined that series. I mean, it's like they couldn't just have a free to play like version or call it something else.
Yeah.
And they have a regular 2, like a regular Plants vs. Zombies 2 game. I mean, that game is just so good. Like the first one.
Yep.
All right, so that's it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, first up, Dominic, we have the least surprising news ever. Warner Brothers is disappointed in the sales of Suicide Squad. It did not meet their expectations, which only leads me to believe.
I'm surprised, Daniel.
What were their expectations? Are you?
I thought that game was going to sell a buttload.
I thought that game was going to sell 5s of 10s.
But no, I'm wondering what was the expectations.
Especially after a year of having just delayed the game because of everyone's low expectations for it. You know, did they think we were gonna forget that we weren't interested in this game, Dominic? Is that what they were hoping for by delaying it a year? Because it doesn't seem like it's in any way like fundamentally different than what we had originally seen and everybody was unhappy about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I had to correct myself. They are showing this spring training game.
Oh, nice.
Off, and it looks like it's showing it for free. You can just watch it on MLB.TV.
Cool.
All right, so
that's only because it's
the
Boston.
Orioles game. I'm sorry, interrupt. Yeah. So then what we talk? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm wondering what was the actual sales of the game like. What were the actual sales of the game? Like, what were the actual sales?
I don't know that we have those numbers necessarily.
Oh, see, that's why because I was going to compare it to like if they're disappointed, what they thought. Did it sell less than the Avengers game? If it sold less than that, then yes, that's disappointing.
I would
If
say
they
it
sold
would
less
have
than-
to have, right? But that's only because we've already lived through the Avengers game, so people knew what this was going to be.
Yeah. Even though I think gameplay wise, this is better. I think I would have a lot more fun playing this. Like as far as gameplay, I think the Avengers, because the Avengers, like I wouldn't necessarily have felt good. Like some people out here actually said that the shooting was okay in the Rockstar. It wasn't a horrible shooting, but Avengers, I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, the combat was good.
Yeah.
In this at all. Like I wouldn't necessarily say that in this game.
The traversal looks like it could be fun in Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like the overall production of that game just looks better than what the Avengers had.
Yeah.
To me. So yeah, I think if it's so less than the Avengers, that is a disappointment. And yeah, it's not directly same as that game, but it is a comic book co-op game that's enough there so that the Avengers not being that great and how disappointing that was, that people were going to use that.
Yeah. You also have to consider that Warner Brothers coming off of last year where Hogwarts Legacy was literally the best-selling game of the year.
Yeah.
So maybe they did have some lofty expectations.
Well, if they're going by that, then I mean it's also Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So it's Harry Potter and it's well done. I mean, it's the type of game it was. Yeah. That wasn't a big multiplayer game or anything. It was a single player game that's similar to, I guess, an Assassin's Creed way of like, you know, you got this world, or you're in the school or whatever, with different quests that they used to do. That's just a type of better game that most people will like. I mean, like you would have to, like this game. It's like something that Rocksteady hasn't done before, and then you had a game. You had a game that was similar, Gotham Knights, which turned out to be not that great. Now they're different developers, but for the game community, that doesn't mean a damn thing. They don't know who. Not everybody knows who worked on games. They just see that was a Batman game, and this is a DC game that has Batman stuff in it, and it's made by the same. And the same company is publishing it. So and you're essentially the same game. So now you're like, man, that 4-player co-op game wasn't really that good. Now you got this other 4-player co-op game that is not really received very well. Do I trust it? Or even I don't know the reviews. Like, do I trust this game? Mm-hmm. Like, do I trust that? Like, to play a game like this that I don't know, looks a little Fortnite-ish or something like that. But it's $70, and then the other game, Gotham Knights, wasn't really that good. Like, yeah, there's a lot going against it. There's a lot going against the game. Yeah. Like it being just, because these are the former guys of the Arkham Knights. Well, if you would have came up before Gotham Knights, if you would have came up before that game, you had a chance. Even the game came out just like it is now.
Yeah,
you had a chance. Your chance was before that game, and also maybe a little closer to when Avengers, the Avengers game came out, or even a little after. Even though Avengers game didn't turn out to be well, you could have been like, "Oh, this is the better game," you know. Say, hey, like you could have been promoting the hell out of this. Mm-hmm. Like this is the better game right here. And then there was no Gotham Knights to compare it to say it was a bad, like, oh, how this shit don't work. And yeah, I mean, you can still been howling your laurels. I mean, rest of your laurels of like what you did with Arkham Knight and say, hey, we did this game, blah blah blah. But the delays and yeah, it didn't help. And yeah, because I'm curious, what game when was Suicide Squad supposed to come out? Like, what was it first announced?
Oh, I don't know about the first. Yeah, because the most recent one before when it released was literally like a year ago. It was like March or May of 2023.
That's only months after Gotham Knights.
Squad. Rocksteady.
That's a weird release date. I mean, if that was his first release date, I could see it got delayed.
Yeah, it wasn't his first release date for sure.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find. So I want to say it was even before that. Yeah, it was May 2023 was the last one, but let's see if I can find. Game pushed back the game from its initial launch in 2022.
Oh, Adley Rushman got a hood one. Yay.
Yeah, so it looks like it was allegedly going to come out in spring of 2022. Which
and when
would that have?
Which is before Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
that's before Gotham Knights.
Where would that put it compared to Avengers? When did Avengers come out?
Avengers came out in when did Avengers come out? 2020 or 2021?
Yeah, I guess it is 2020 August.
Yeah, 2020. Man. Yeah.
God, it's been that long since Avengers has been out, Dominic. I guess it makes sense why they've shut it down then.
Jeez. Yeah, this was supposed because now I'm remembering, that's what I thought. This was supposed to come out before Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Like, this was, like, that's why I was thinking, like, damn, Gotham Knights is coming out as the B game. But hopefully, this game, Suicide Squad, will be good, and then, so Gotham Knights, that could help, help it, like a little bit, like, hey, look, you play the Batman 4-player game, so it might be as good. But yeah, this came out after, so what people would consider would be, like, you were going to guess who was the worst game, what would the worst game be, and which I think it is. I mean, like, even though I haven't played Suicide Squad, I played Gotham Knights, and from what I've seen of Suicide Squad, I can't imagine it being worse than Gotham Knights, honestly. Gameplay wise. Because if it is, then, like, put it like this: if Suicide Squad is worse than Gotham Knights, then Suicide Squad is just trash, and I wouldn't think that. I don't think it's just trash.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it hurt. Yeah, the timing just hurt, and yeah, disappointing.
Absolutely.
And you know what? In a way, it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, for the developers, yeah, that's sad. Like, you got the games. Oh my God, he missed the pop up. He missed the pop up. The guy on the Red Sox. Good God, I guess it's too sunny down there in Florida. Dang it, can't see the ball. I guess those sunglasses, those high. I mean, I can't imagine how much those glasses cost. He need a freak ass was money back then. They said, "Hey man, I can't see." Oh, they're so good you can't see anything.
Couldn't see the ball.
It blocks out everything. But anyway, yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, some developers, the game didn't sell well, but at the end, it's like this. I'm kind of don't want to do well. Like, this ain't the game we wanted.
Yeah.
This is not the game that people really wanted. Man, I know sometimes, you might like say, hey, I don't want this game, but then it turned out to be great. And it's like, oh, then whatever, But this is not, like, people didn't want another hero shooter, No. We didn't know, well, it's not, well, it is a hero shooter, literally, but, but not in the sense of what we usually call hero shooters. But we didn't want a shooter in a comic book space. Like, you had plenty of those things. Like, that's not what we wanted. You could have done something else. If you want to do a co-op game, action game or something, you could have done something else with it. But you made like a regular shooter where it has, it has microtransactions, right? I'm not even sure, honestly.
For Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, microtransactions
skins and stuff
all these, yeah, and then you, like, weapons, like, these characters that you would think about having just guns, except for, like, Deadshot.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, this is definitely not what people wanted, and yeah, you got what you got, man.
Yeah, we didn't want Rocksteady wasting their time on this style game either.
Yeah, this could have been it could have been. You could have done something like you did with that Batman game. Where it was like Batman versus Joker game, whatever the hell that shit was called.
Oh yeah, Gotham pranksters, whatever it's called. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, you could have done something that's like that. That's not $70 and then the arcadey style, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, don't let the studio, they're one of your best studios that has been done great games. Definitely since Arkham Asylum. Yeah, like do something along this line, man.
Gotham City Imposters. That's what it was called.
Yeah, Turn.
All right. Next up, Dominic, we got Sony. Speaking of things that may have not met expectations, we have Sony is testing the PSVR for use on the PC, allegedly. And Jesus Christ, Dominic, I think we talked about this before that thing even launched. That is the way forward for that thing. It's the only way to make that piece of hardware relevant in my mind, is to make it a universal VR headset that is usable across both the PlayStation and the PC. Because then at least, even if yours isn't the most advanced technology, although I heard the PSVR 2 is very good in that space, you do have the advantage of some of the exclusives that are available on the PS5, because you're not going to bring one of the PC VR headsets and allow that for use on the PS5. So you still have some exclusive content, but you also have the large library of PC games. So if they can figure that out, that is definitely the right direction for them, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought this was good news. I was like, yeah, because it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
The news didn't make sense about the PSVR, like, for the price. Mm-hmm. And
not
then being that you have to still, and then being tethered to PS5, mm-hmm. It's like, oh, fine. I mean, and I get it. Like some of the best VRs is really tethering to a PC because of its power. So
yeah,
I'm okay with, like, now that you can do that. Like, you can, hey, I can buy this hardware. Yeah, it's $500, but it's one of the great headsets.
Yeah.
And I can, if I choose to get a PS5 one day, that's fine, but I have a PC already or something, yeah, I can use it there and use that power with all my PC library that I have in VR space, or that I want to be a part of in the VR space.
Definitely.
So that does open it up. I kind of still wish there was a way that you can do it wirelessly, you know, like even if it's like, hey, you take away some of the power, you can't hook it up, but you can be wireless. That's what I'm waiting for. Like a VR headset, like, hey, you won't be able to play, maybe some games you can't play, or you have to do it like a wireless thing where there will be some lag, but at least you have that choice of going wireless or being tethered if you choose to. Mm-hmm. I wish that was the case with the headset. Like, that's really where I'm at. Like, because I feel like if I get to the point where I'm paying $500, it's just like, come on, man, I need that shit to be wireless, because, yeah, it may be more powerful than what the Oculus 3 is, but without being wireless, man, that's a game changer.
Yeah, the
man.
convenience factor there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I have a choice. Because with that, I can be tethered. Mm-hmm. Like, it still won't be as powerful as like sometimes VR headsets that are required to be tethered to a PC, but I can be, and I can play some of those. I can play those games. It'll be good enough for me. It'll be good enough. I can still play those games that I do want to be on that or PC. I have a choice, but the PlayStation VR, I don't have a choice. I have to be tethered.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. So this is some news that's kind of related to the Nintendo Direct stuff that we have, but I'm going to kind of jump ahead here and say this. So Microsoft, we talked about last week what they were doing as far as bringing their games to other platforms and what they were doing in the future with hardware. We now know the 4 games that are coming to other systems. They include Sea of Thieves, which is coming to the PS5, and it is going to be bringing with it cross-play between the PS5, the Xbox, and the PC. That has not been announced for the Switch. That doesn't entirely surprise me, though. I honestly, that and Hi-Fi Rush, which has also been announced for PS5 for March 19th, those games seem like they might be a little too much for the Switch as it is. You know, if we were actively talking about Switch 2, I could see those be shoo-ins for that, but as of right now, it seems like maybe there's a little too much for them.
So what was the 2 games that were announced for the Switch that was for Xbox?
So the 2 games for the Switch were Grounded and Pentiment. So Pentiment came out.
Okay, Grounded. That's what Grounded. That's what I remember.
Yeah, they actually kicked off their showcase with that. And Grounded definitely looks like it's taken a graphical hit to be there. So we got those. Pentiment is actually out now on both the PlayStation and the Switch. That came out basically the next day. Yeah, I know you quite enjoyed that. It seems definitely like a really cool thing, and I'm glad to see it have more of a ability to reach different players now, because it definitely seems like kind of a niche thing. So opening up the amount of people that can possibly
not
play
according to these Xbox. These people are very sad that this game going over there. They seem to all have played it.
I was going to say all those people that I'm sure have played that game. Yeah. Yeah. So then the one other piece of news I have here before we get into the Nintendo Partner Direct is the announcement of Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erd Tree. That's the DLC coming on June 21st for $40. It looks like more Elden Ring, Dominic. The guy at work that is super into Elden Ring seems to think that it's more than just like DLC. It's almost like on the level of a whole new game, so I will take his word for that. It looks cool. You know, those games have a visual style to them that is intriguing. But now I guess basically what I'm looking at is as we see this DLC come out, especially at $40, when can I get like Elden Ring for $19? That's maybe when you'll get me on board, or when is this going to show up on Game Pass? Because then I can finally give it a try. Because I do want to give it a try.
It doesn't have a demo?
I don't think so. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe I've ever seen one. If so, then I just feel silly. But I don't think I've ever seen one. Yeah, because it's just the kind of differences it has between it as like this actual open world thing and the Bloodborns and the Dark Souls. You know, it seemed like it added a slightly different wrinkle to it that maybe would intrigue me a little bit more, but I don't know.
Do I still have it installed up here?
No, dude. Is it just taking up hard drive space, Dominic?
It might be.
Man, I'm glad I'm not the only digital hoarder. All right, Dominic. So, yeah, let's get into it.
I definitely do.
We did get a Nintendo Direct. I think we talked last week about how it was just rumors still that it was going to happen. But it was a partner direct, so this wasn't like, a whole bunch of new Nintendo games. It wasn't Metroid Prime 4. It wasn't Switch 2. But it was kind of big, and maybe would have been bigger had we not went through this whole kerfuffle with Microsoft the week before, because it kicked off with Grounded, showing that off coming out April 16th and kind of giving it a lengthy portion of the Nintendo Direct. And I think that would have been kind of a bigger thing had that, not been kind of spoiled in a lot of ways. After that was Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist. That's coming out September 2024. It's like anime
all
type thing.
I think is the what's that movie called? The something
The
Magnolias?
Gorillas in the Mist. Oh, Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, I think of Steel like for some reason.
We all know the reason, Dominic. Actually, I don't even know. I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever seen Steel Magnolias. I think.
Oh no, I've never seen it either.
I remember stocking it a lot at Target.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People love Steel Magnolias.
But yeah,
And I think I confused that with Fried Green Tomatoes, which is a movie I always disliked because I was a kid and that was not a movie for kids. After that was Arranger, a role puzzling adventure. This game looked really cool. It has your character like stationary on a block, and then there's like tiles around you that move. Almost like a conveyor belt-esque thing. It reminds me of
that was pretty cool.
Crypt of the Necrodancer style movement. Something like that. That's coming out summer 2024. After that was Unicorn Overlord. That's the new Vanillaware game, the turn-based strategy one from the people that made...
I downloaded the demo. I just haven't played it yet, though.
Yeah, that's got a demo out now, and it's coming out March 8th. So that looks pretty all right. I also got Monster Hunter Stories coming out summer of 2024. That's kind of
the re-release
of
it because it was a re-release of it because it used to be just on the Game Boy 3DS or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And then speaking of re-releases, Dominic, one that you had mentioned not too long ago, Disney's Epic Mickey is getting the rebrushed edition coming out in 2024, and that's coming on Switch.
I cannot believe when I saw that. I was like, what? I was just talking about how they should bring that back and with better controls.
Yeah.
And
hopefully it actually has them.
Yeah.
Because they did, I believe they mentioned in the Nintendo Direct that they would have motion controls on the Switch, and it's like, please don't. I don't need that, actually. Yeah. Just make sure you're doing good regular controls. After that was Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. That's coming out June 21st. It's Shin Megami Tensei basically just like fantasy and sort of more grown-up version of Persona. Is that my understanding?
That's what I imagine it.
Yeah. Because it's always like whenever they give the ratings beforehand, it's like partial nudity and violence and suggestive language. And I'm like, man, this thing's intense, I guess. And then we saw Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection coming out March 14th. So, Dominic, they're bringing back the original Battlefront games and making them, online. And it's funny because some of the podcasts that I listen to, one of them, they've got some younger guys on there who I guess like were the prime age for these games that have been released. So they treat them like they were almost like Game of the Year category, contenders. And it's like, man, I don't know that I ever remember them being that big. I mean, I remember them being kind of a big deal because it's like, oh, it's cool. I can be part of the Star Wars battles, like from the ground all the way up.
Yeah, but this is still a time for me where online wasn't still big.
Exactly.
Everybody didn't have it.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of weird that, people have that reverie for them now, but
yeah, most people I know who played it, they ain't played online.
Yeah.
Like I never played online. I played a bunch of bots. And so because I didn't have PlayStation Online.
Yeah. Yeah. But this seems
I wasn't paying
kind of cool.
In Xbox, I wasn't paying for Xbox Live at the time on the original Xbox.
Yeah. And that's got some new levels and everything. So it's like they did some stuff there. That's pretty cool. After that was South Park Snow Day. This is coming out March 26th, and this is like a 3D action game.
Man, it's coming out, man, when the snow's basically gone, man. Should have been came out.
It's fine. You'll want to relive the snow from the winter, Dominic. Yeah, I forgot. I think this game had previously been announced, so I forgot that was the thing. And then seeing the trailer for it, the beginning of it is setting it up like one of the RPGs, and I was like, oh man, are they doing another one of those, but like keeping it in that same universe? And then I saw that, and I was like, it's like this co-op action game. It doesn't doesn't look particularly fun, Dominic. I don't know. What are your feelings on it?
Oh, I don't. I forgot what it looks like. Honestly, Daniel.
Yeah,
I gotta go look at it again.
It looks like ugly 3D South Park. Because
oh yeah, I do remember that part.
Yeah, that's what was nice about those RPGs is like they limited that. They just made it look like the cartoon. And I get why you can't necessarily do that, especially in this type of game. But yeah, I don't think this one's gonna hit really. All right, after that was Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. That's coming out sometime this year, apparently. Any interest in the Sword Art series, Dominic?
Sword Art, okay. Is that the anime one, right?
Yeah.
I actually watched a lot of the first season during COVID. And it's okay. As an anime, it's okay. It's okay. But what turned me off that I couldn't watch it no more is because of this little fairy. Well, she wasn't a fairy at first. First, she was like a little kid, and she treats the boy and the girl as their mother and father. But she has the voice is so fucking annoying. Mm-hmm. And then she's a fairy, and then I thought she died. I was like, oh, praise Jesus. But she didn't. She was just reincarnated in another RPG world. Virtual world. The game that this anime has is the game wherever they play, and she's a fairy now. And I was like, oh no, she's still alive. And I was like, oh god. I couldn't do it. Yeah. I just couldn't go on. And like it's an okay, nice fantasy RPG. I always hear good things about this series. Like I was looking up at an anime, how people say how great it is. And I bet that somebody is probably saying like, well, if you listen to it subtitle, Japanese is less, and that's not true.
Yeah,
I think I heard it, and I think it's just annoying. I just don't understand what the fuck she's saying, so I think it's even more annoying. It's even more annoying at that point. I just like, why does she have to have such an annoying fucking voice? This little kid, it's like so. That's what, and then she can say, mommy and daddy. It's like, come the fuck on, shut up. That's like, shut the hell up. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with the series. So the game, I don't know what's this game supposed to be doing?
It looks like it's kind of standard action RPG style anime stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Next up was Gundam Breaker 4. It looks like you can build some Gundams, then pose them and fight with them. Actually, yeah, you do fight with them a little bit. Gundams.
Should pose them like, hey, do you have like a one-way too? You can just roll that one way.
No, it's mostly stationary posing, but you can extend lasers and stuff. I saw in it, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, like it has a photo mode, so you can be like, this is my Gundam that I built in here. There's definitely some coolness to building Gundams in real life, but like I don't think they've quite nailed that feeling in these video games where you're just swapping out parts and doing stuff like that. All right, after that, Dominic, was Super Monkey Ball Rumble. This is coming out June 25th. It's got 200 new courses and 16-player multiplayer. It's almost like they got Battle Royale level multiplayer for Super Monkey Ball here. I remember being super into the idea of Monkey Ball when it was coming out on the GameCube, and then like eventually playing it later on down the line and not liking the fact that you're moving the course instead of the actual monkey ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying, but I was okay with that.
Yeah. It was confusing for my tiny little brain, Dominic.
Oh, yeah.
So that looks pretty cool. After that was World of Goo 2. This was announced a little bit ago. That's coming out May 23rd. Looks like more World of Goo, where you're building these structures and trying to get your goo to the.
We were just talking about World of Goo. Well, was it like because maybe it was like an anniversary, I believe.
Yeah. I think that too. It was just the anniversary. They announced I think a couple of months ago, just recently. Yeah, and this is going to be a console exclusive for now, so Nintendo locking the world of goo down, Dominic, which it was a huge thing for the Wii, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was somewhat console exclusive.
Yeah, originally
for time on the Wii for the Wii.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it might have just came on PC, but no, it wasn't on Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
If it ever did come to those consoles, it was later. Yeah, no, I definitely know that.
Yeah. All right, after that was Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is coming out October 10th. This is...
What the hell is this?
This is like one of these Animal Crossing style builder type things where you're building a town, but you've also got some, adventures going on around the town that you got to help people solve and whatnot. It's
I thought it was
relatively uninteresting.
Thinking some anime girl and you just living her life.
Nah, less anime, more kind of chibi, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess the girl skills time is some other, not really not character you play as. Like, I guess it's someone.
Maybe that's the mystery story you have to solve.
Yeah,
who's stealing my time? All right, after that was
it definitely is chibi. Yeah, look at that. Everybody got big heads.
Yep, they look like Mii's but with arms and legs. All right, next up was Another Crab's Treasure. This coming out April 25th. This looked kind of interesting.
I didn't remember the first one.
You didn't remember Crab's Treasure?
No.
Yeah.
I know. It's that's just the title, right?
Yeah.
This is the first.
Yeah, it's like Another Man's Trash is Another Man's Treasure because you're going around.
Well, that's what
you're a hermit crab, but it's an action game, and you're like switching between different items as shells and stuff. It looks kind of interesting. I'd like to see more of that. That's a game I'd like to see have a demo on the Switch. After that, they showed Penny's Big Breakaway, announced that it was out then. Surprise drop. That was cool. After that was Suika Game. This is a game that kind of was making the rounds around the time of Game of the Year. It's a puzzle game with fruit where you kind of drop things down like Tetris, but there's a little more physicsy nature to it because the fruit's different shapes. And this is adding some like multiplayer stuff as paid expansion. So that looks all right. After that was Pepper Grinder. This is out March 28th. There's a demo out now. I believe we had seen this previously in one of the Nintendo Directs. It's this pixel art style game. You're a woman with a little drill, and you're basically able to drill through everything, and it pulls you through. And I kind of forgot about having seen this previously, I think, because after you said, hey, I watched the Nintendo Direct and there's a whole bunch of demos I got to download. I went to the Nintendo store and I saw like Unicorn Overlord, and I was like, I don't know if I'm interested in that. And I think I saw Pepper Grinder, but I forgot what it was. Because, I would definitely have downloaded the demo for this because that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I downloaded the demo. I just didn't play it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After that was Pocket Card Jockey Ride On. This is previously exclusively a phone game. Pocket Card Jockey, I believe, is made by the people that make Pokemon games, and is basically like a betting on horse racing game because the Japanese apparently love betting on horse racing because this has been a series for a long time now. That is a game that is out now on the Switch. They also showed off Contra, Operation Gulaga. That I believe is like a remake of the first game. That's coming out March 12th. There's also a demo out of that. I gotta try that because I've always heard about how hard the Contra games were. I'd like to see what they do with a modern one, if it's still just like balls hard or if they have some sort of options in there to make it a little bit easier. This is also
it's vagina soft. It's vagina soft thing.
Okay. There's also, this is when we found out about Pentiment being on the Switch. It was basically just included in like a quick shot trailer of stuff. So I'm sure Xbox fanboys were mad about that too. Like it didn't even get a prominent spot, which is kind of like a little bit of slap in the face. And then they announced Rare games are coming to Switch Online. When they first started showing this stuff, I thought they were going to bring the Rare collection too, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And instead, it's just like a couple of games that are online. So they got Battletoads for the SNES, Killer Instinct, Snake Rattle and Roll.
Now, what kind of Battletoads is this? It was called Battletoads something. And it's not like regular Battletoads.
Yeah, it's let me jump forward here. It is Battletoads Battle Maniacs.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Snake Rattle Roll, RC Pro-Am, those are 2 NES titles, and then Blast Corps for the N64. I remember that game. Just
no Sega Genesis stuff.
What's that?
Ooh, no Sega Genesis games.
No rare Sega Genesis games. Yeah.
No, I mean I was just saying that I was hoping to hear some Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the time to fill that service out more if you aren't going to have a lot of games, if we're nearing the end of the life cycle of the Switch and we're getting closer to a Switch 2, especially if you're going to be smart and actually carry the service over to the Switch 2. Fill that out, and then at launch you have, a pretty big catalog of classic games for the Switch 2. And then their like one last thing was Endless Ocean Luminous. This is coming out May 2nd. I guess I didn't
even remember this game. I didn't remember this game.
I've heard people talk about Endless Ocean, but like I don't remember it being that big a thing that it would be like the one last thing in your partner direct.
Like this is
the Rare games being on the Switch Online. I feel like is a bigger thing than that. But maybe I'm wrong.
The Endless. Yeah, I thought this was a game that was on PC or something. I was getting it confused with Subnautica.
Yeah,
and because I think games like Subnautica just make it like Endless Ocean is nothing.
Yeah,
it's nothing compared to that. And Endless Ocean, I now that I look at it, so this was that Wii game, and they did have a part 2.
Yeah,
and so I was like, I guess it's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, because I played Subnautica. I'm like, it only came on the Wii. It only came on the Wii. This didn't come on anything else. So I guess it's good for people who are into that, and maybe. I mean, I like exploring the deep or exploring places where like finding things and discovering things of that nature. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I like that, and I like that there's a this co-op. I guess was it co-op in the first one because they showed off you being with people, and interacting with people.
I have my doubts. I don't know, to be honest with you, but I feel like that's probably one of the bigger selling points of this new one is that you've got a lot of
you get to go dive around and look at sharks with everybody or creatures and whatever, and discover new ones.
Pet a whale.
And then but that was a weird thing for it to be the last game, man. I was really looking like, okay, what is this? Is this something? Is something big?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Nope.
But there's somebody out there. There's some Endless Ocean fans, because I'm looking at these comments. So it said 15 years of waiting for more content has come to an end. And I'm thinking like, nobody was waiting 15 years.
No.
I think y'all people were just like, it's over. Y'all moved on with your lives. Like, that's what I would think. And you say like more content.
That's what you would hope, though.
When I think of more content, like, it's been like because y'all were getting like DLC and stuff. It's like it's a Wii game. What the hell? It was over. That's it. To the people who love Endless Ocean as children, oh man, this is extremely special. That makes you feel old because I wasn't a child. I was a child 15 years. I was still an adult.
Yeah.
And now people saying like, I played this as a little kid. It's nostalgia. Look at this. Like people saying, I'm so glad this game was not forgotten. The nostalgia. Oh my God. God, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nostalgia of me being at Target, Daniel.
Exactly.
Thinking this game was like an end cap game.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the cover, that's what I thought of this game. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the end costs end up being, But I think every time I put it up, I never thought of it like whatever it cost. I thought it was probably too much. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. So that was the Nintendo Partner Direct and the news for the week. Did you see anything else you wanted to talk about?
Look, this guy said Endless Ocean, and she inspired me to get on the path to becoming a zoologist and marine biologist.
Oh, wow.
I played these when I was 8, and now I'm in college. Next quarter, I'm taking a Sailish C class.
He's pulling the George Costanza
I'm going to
down.
be out on the ocean for 3 weeks, just like in the Blue World.
Wow.
I always dreamed of there'd be a remaster or Switch one day. Oh, good for you, man. Right. Good for you.
He's living the life. One day he's going to pull a golf ball out of a blowhole. All right.
My therapist, you need a relaxing, stressless holiday doing something you love. Nintendo, we got you.
I'm glad this game is special for people. All right, Dominic, did you see anything else for the news that you want to talk about?
No, not really. Yeah, I think we're good. Let me see. See what we got here.
Final Fantasy reviews are out because that game comes out next week.
Oh yeah,
they're
we're
really
getting some good reviews. Yeah, I mean, I want to play it. I do want to play it. Only an 8.5. What the hell?
Oh yeah, people are not happy about that in the Game Informer comments.
They say it got a 9 on Metacritic. What are you doing? You brought it down.
Yeah.
It could have been higher. He's getting his death threats. That's pathetic. They even get mad at 8.5. You son of a bitch. Shit, I wish I could do a review. I'd be like, this game is great. 6.
Nothing's stopping you, Dominic. We got a website. Gonna have written content on it too now.
I give it a 6. How can you say this game is great? What is it great? It's like, it wasn't perfect.
It probably only takes like 10 reviews before we can submit ourselves to Metacritic, so you know. Just review bomb all these.
All right,
games.
yeah, I got nothing.
All right, Dominic. New releases here. We got Balatro. This is out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch. This is apparently a roguelike card deck building poker game. It sounds kind of cool for people that are into like poker style games. Wait
a minute. I feel like we see this. No, this is a different thing. I don't know what the hell that is.
There was.
I was thinking about a game.
There was a demo for it during the Steam Next Fest stuff this past.
Okay.
Like month or whenever they did it recently. Yeah. But I've been hearing some high praise for it. Nightingale, that's out on PC now. This is the massively multiplayer thing, right?
Yes, as I'm typing.
Same, it's fine. It's a strategy game. Shared world strategy crafting game that, you know, looks like modern day mixed with modern day weaponry mixed with the 1980s or something like that. Not 1980s, 1880s.
It's still in early access. It says.
So.
But it's officially out. Geez. They can say it is out.
I think it was in early access, but I thought it came out now officially. Is it showing early access on Steam right now?
Yeah.
Okay. With no release date. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the early access launch, and I had misunderstood. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's early access.
Get the hell out of here. Get it out of here.
We're just going to delete that from the document. Boom, gone. All right, next up, we got Last Epoch. That's out on PC now. That's like a Diablo-style action-adventure game. Action-adventure RPG game.
I mean, it's got okay reviews.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's got okay.
Yeah. All right, we got Penny's Big Breakaway. I mentioned that earlier. That's out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series. We also have Pacific Drive. That's out on PS5 and PC. I forgot we had seen that in the past. It looks like an interesting concept, but doesn't really look like a game that I'm too interested in playing.
The reviews are just okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing special.
Yeah. All right, we also got Pentiment, as I mentioned earlier, now out on Switch, PS4, and PS5. And we got Sons of the Forest. That is out of early access now and now out on PC. Speaking of survival games, we had one to take off the list and we got a new one to replace it, Dominic, because there's
Sons of the Forest. Yeah, that's been on early
game.
access for a while. Yeah. Not that I'm really interested in, but a lot of people are very much are. It's pretty popular. So, yeah, I wonder if that's like how people feel about it now. Like, since it's official out, and like, is this what they want? Is everything like they've done in early access made it a game that they want? I guess they probably say no. We want some pals in here.
Every survival game should have some pals in it, Dominic.
Yeah.
That is a scary looking game, Dominic. There's a lot of creepiness going on there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's why I like my survival games with little pals where I can beat up on them.
Very, very colorful. Yeah, yes, a very colorful world.
I need creepy hands reaching out of the woods on me. So.
Make you think of like Slender Man gonna come out again, man.
Some of these guys look like Slender Man, yeah. But crawling on all fours, which makes it even worse. All right. So those are our new releases this week. Dominic, you have anything else for the people this week?
Do I have anything else? No, I don't.
All right, we'll wrap this podcast up then. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. So all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, any of those other places you can find audio podcasts. Until next time, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.